Cuffs are off, man.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focus Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fabs here, Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated.
You know who you can trust if you've got some questions about your fantasy squad?
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I
What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. Welcome to the Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm Mike Herrick, aka Classic Mike, and this is our active and inactive Sunday show. I'll be going through the news and notes from Friday night's games and Thursday night's games, and going over actives and inactives at 11:30. So stay tuned, as well as answering any of your last-second start-sit questions leading up to game time. And if I have some time, we'll do some DFS value picks. Make sure if you want your question answered right away, throw in that super chat. I will answer right away for you guys. I will stop everything just for you. So make sure you guys check that out. I'm going to check out the chat. Look at that, my good buddy Worm. What's going on, Worm? Great to have you here. Saying let's have a great season there, Classic Mike. Of course, man. Excited, really excited to be here today. Week 1, really want to start off right. Whew. All right. So let's get into some news and notes from Friday night's games and on. From the Friday night game itself, it was a pretty good game. Chargers win 27-21. Xavier Worthy got a nasty shoulder injury from running into Travis Kelce. He could be out anywhere between 2 and 3 weeks, or it could be the season. Most recent news, they state that they're still doing some tests and hope he can play with the brace. So that's good news, but we'll wait and see how that turns out. Hollywood Brown ended up reaping the benefits of this game, getting 16 targets, 10 catches, 99 yards. Not bad at all. Mahomes did Mahomes things, did real well with his stat line with 57 yards on the ground, leading the team in rushing, and then Kelce only having 2 catches, 1 long touchdown. So it was a pretty good game overall. Not going to lie. So it was fun to watch. So let's get to some questions in the chat. We got Ryan in there going, top of the morning. What's up, man? He goes, standard league, which running back should I start at the flex? Travion Henderson or Tyrone Tracy? That's a great question. I like both these guys a lot. Right now, we have no idea what's going to happen with Henderson. He's a very good back. We understand his, he's a elusive guy that can, they drafted him to eventually be the starter. Right now, the over-under for that Patriots-Raiders game is 44. And the Commanders game is 40. Commanders and Giants are 45.5. So numbers are pretty similar in that case. Currently, they have New England favored by 2.5. They have Washington favored by 6. Going based off that logic and what's going on there, I'm a Giants fan, as you can see, if you haven't already noticed. I'm not going to try to go down that route, but I think that he has more of an opportunity since he is the lead back. I think he'll get more of the touch. I think that Henderson has a little bit more upside in, just his burst and all that. I'm probably going to tell you Tyrone Tracy, just because of that. I think the snap share for Tracy is going to be more towards 60% when, Henderson is going to be at probably 30 to maybe less, maybe 40, 30-ish type area. So, and this is just a start. Remember, it's going to ramp up. Stevenson's definitely going to be getting the majority of the carries to start with. Even though Henderson is projected higher because they think that he'll be more used, even if it's a 50-50 split, I'm still unsure at that point. I think that even with the Giants not being favored, they're going to have to check down a little bit. So I'm going to go with Tracy here. I feel a little bit more comfortable with him in my lineup, even though I do have Henderson in a few lineups, but those are for lineups that I don't have the help like Tracy. What's going on, Worm? He says, should I flex Harvey, Olave, or my golden boy in full PPR? I would probably go with Olave just because this game they're going to be down. I mean, the over-under for this game is 44. Arizona's favored by 6. They're going to be down. They're going to have to throw. I like Olave, even though I really do like RJ Harvey. We still want to see how that's going to turn out, or at least I'm cautiously optimistic to, see what happens. But for now, I think it's Olave. What's up, Smokey the Cat? How you doing, man? He goes, what's up? We're back. Question. Would you rather stash Najee or one of Marks, White, Keaton Mitchell, Sean Tucker, or Ray Davis? After what we saw, I would probably aim for either Marks or Ray Davis. Even White, I'd be okay with. A lot of these guys, Najee really took a back seat. I mean, I got to look back at the numbers of the snap share, but he didn't really get a ton. He was very not used. He was in there for more pass pro, which I noticed a lot. They had him in on a lot of passing plays for pass pro, and he did very well. He had a couple passes out of the back, and he'll still be involved a little bit. But they even threw in Haskins in this particular matchup as well to relieve Hampton. For now, like I said, I wouldn't mind going for guys like Marks and Davis just to kind of they have a little bit more upside to them, and they're on. I don't want to say better offenses because I think the Chargers offense look pretty good. But they're on, good. Well, at least Ray Davis is on a better offense at this point. So I would go for one of them. I like Ray Davis just maybe a smidge more. Hold on one sec. Just trying to adjust things so I can get back to your guys' comments. Hold on. Let's go to that. There we go. What up, Riders? He goes, would you go Purdy, Fields, or Lawrence? Ugh. None of these sound appetizing in one way or another. The only one that the only one based on what I keep, what I see with the numbers and stuff, Jaguars facing the Panthers, going with Trevor Lawrence, 46 over under comparatively to guys like the Steelers Jets game, which is 47.5, and it only went down. Like it just keeps going down. It's 2 points down from where it came up. The 49ers game, 43, so it's more of a middling game. They are getting Christian McCaffrey, so that's helpful. Fields definitely, of course, has the legs, so there's a lot of different factors here, man. This is pretty crazy. I'm probably going to lean Purdy. He's just higher in the ranking. The matchup is okay. They're it's definitely your safest option if you need an upside play because you're down. After facing like Mahomes or facing a few other guys, maybe Fields might be the better option just because of the legs, and he'll get you a little bit more, rushing yards in that case. So, I mean, Fields is more of an upside play. Purdy is more of a conservative play. So if if it's 50-50, you might want to stick with Purdy. If you're kind of behind, I'd be going Fields. So that's how I would play it. Marcos, what's going on, brother? Great to have you back. Great to be back this, week 1 season. Marcos goes, I won a few leagues last year with your advice. Hope to run it back. Hey, man, I love hearing that. I can't wait to see what questions you guys have for me. Marcos goes, DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, full PPR. Gross. Sorry. I do like the Bears-Vikings matchup, 43.5 right now. The line switched from Chicago being favored to Minnesota, which is nice. In this particular case, to me, I don't know how I feel yet about DK Metcalf being over with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers can support, last year he ended up supporting 2,000-yard receivers. I can't not look at that. Sauce Gardner and him are going to be facing off today. In MetLife, it's going to be the return for Rodgers. I know Rodgers is going to have a chip on his shoulder. They're going to want to get him throwing quick. So I understand all those things. And if you want to go down that street, you're more than welcome to. The 37-point over-under is what's kind of slowing me from that. When those numbers are so low, that means there's going to be less production in the game. Pittsburgh's favored, which is, one of those things where if they're up, they're going to run. They want to stick to running the ball as well. So I'm a little bit less optimistic about it. The Bears game, it just seems to have more points in it, seems to be a little bit more, yeah, that too. Worm loves his, Worm is a big Vikings fan. I like DJ Moore in this matchup just a little more. I like what I see more from what Ben Johnson can do comparatively to what Arthur Smith will do. Arthur Smith, if you looked at the team last year, even if Pickens was their number one, he was like wide receiver 40th, and they were like the second highest in run rate. Like they don't like passing the ball, but I know Rodgers is trying to fix that. We can go down that narrative if you want, but honestly, I think DJ Moore is just in a better spot overall. So I'm gonna DJ Moore. Marcos goes Jordan Mason or Jalen Warren. So for the same exact conversation, just in reverse, I like Warren a little more just because of the run game. They are one of the highest run rates. Rodgers is one of the best at checking down as well. He is in his old age. He's learned dump the ball, don't get hurt, quick passes out. Jalen Warren will be involved in the passing game a lot. I think Jalen Warren is the better play here. Jordan Mason is definitely someone to keep on and hold just because you know that it's going to be you're going to need him later. Jordan Mason's going to be needed later. We don't know how it's going to be now. They're definitely going to have more of a 50-50 split. Warren is probably going to be in that boat too, with rotating out with Kenneth Gainwell and Caleb Johnson. So I still like Jalen Warren. All these backfields are kind of murky at this point, but I do like Jalen Warren, especially in full PPR. Sadness in my life. Oh, you can't have sadness. No sadness in your life. We can only make you happy here. So, full PPR, Tracy or Warren at the RB2. Ooh. My brain is telling me Tracy. My heart wants to say Warren, but I'm going to lean Tracy here for full PPR. I just like the matchup a little more points that could be scored. These guys are right on the cusp, right on the cusp for me. If I'm looking at my rankings, I have Tracy at 19 right now, and I have Jalen at 29. I didn't really adjust yet, but it's just really because of the matchup. It's really based on, the points and all that. There's more points for Tracy. I'm going to go Tracy. What up, Patrick? Great to have you back, brother. Oh, love seeing these names out here. Love it. He goes, okay, so here we go. Pick 2. Jerome Ford, Swift, Debo, Tracy, Cup. Wow, Tracy seems to be the guy today. Everybody's unsure of. I want to go. I think Swift is a lock. I think Swift is definitely one of the guys that you want to have in. The next guy, this one's a little bit more difficult. I'm assuming this is full PPR. If I'm going full PPR, I'm going to lean Tracy just because he's going to be involved, like I already said. Jerome Ford, I'm not on yet. I want to see how this backfield turns out with Junkins coming back next week. This is the only time you're going to be able to play Ford. Junkins could be back as early as next week. That was going to be some of the news we talked about. He is signing, or he already did sign his deal, and he's going to be meeting with the NFL this week. So he's going to be getting a suspension at one point. It's just really a matter of when and how much. Typically for first offenders for battery of, domestic violence and all that, it's usually 6 games. So I don't know if that's going to be the case here. I don't know what's going to happen. They're never consistent. But could he play next week? Essentially, yes. But for now, I think this is Jerome's only real big game, with only Dylan Sampson behind him, really. So for me, I'm still going to stick with Swift and Tracy. I think those are my two best options here. I'm not ready to play Cup or Debo until I see a little bit more from these offenses because, new team, new offense. I'm hoping they use Cup a little bit more. I think he's definitely fit for a big role there. But we'll have to wait and see with, Jackson Smith, the Jigba, and, Torrey Horton. We'll see. But for me, yeah, Swift and Tracy. Marcos goes in Buka or Jameson Williams or DK Metcalf in the flex spot, full PPR, pick 2. Okay. I do like Jameson Williams. He's been really good in the past versus the Packers. 47.5 point over under. They are actually underdogs in this at 1.5. I really do like Jameson. So Jameson for sure. The other one is a little bit tricky. I'm between Mbuka and Metcalf at this point. I'm probably going to have Metcalf ranked higher in my rankings. I have him currently he's down here a lot. He's about 36. I have Mbuka at 32. So I think I'm going to go Mbuka here. I have Mbuka and Jameson Williams a lot higher than these two. So I'm going to go Jameson Williams and Mbuka. I want to give Mbuka the shot. He's going to be the number 2 in the Tampa Bay offense. The Tampa Bay game is, one where this is going to be a shootout. 47.5 point over under, 0.5 for Tampa Bay. I really do like Mbuka a lot. They keep talking him up as, a professional and really just could really be an impact player this year with Godwin being hurt. So Baker could target him easy. And, the matchup's just really good against the Falcons this year. They always tend to, slug it out. And Tampa is favored by, only a half. So this could go back and forth. I'm going to go with Mbuka and Jameson Williams. Really like that matchup. Marcus goes, would you still start Kyler Murray even though he is sick, or start Drake May? Yeah, I was going to say, Kyler Murray currently with a illness. He will be active, but he will not, or it's not going to affect anything. Just getting word from Rappaport, Christian McCaffrey is good to go. That was going to be my other news. We were unsure about the concept of what's going to be happening with Christian McCaffrey. He was practicing in full on Wednesday, practices full on Wednesday, limited on Thursday, did not practice on Friday. Normally that type of situation, the guy's not playing. Apparently he, felt something on Thursday. He didn't want to push it. He kind of held himself back. And now, it's been unsure, but there's a lot of signs showing that he will play just because of the concept that they did not elevate a running back from their practice squad. So he will, they're pretty confident, I guess. He was in the walkthrough all of Saturday when they do their walkthroughs. So right now I would be okay with Christian McCaffrey. But when it comes to Kyler Murray, I think you're okay. I think you can still start him right now. I don't think there's, really anything that would bother me there. It's a 44 point over under, which is okay. They're favored at this point, so it could be a lot of running, or they could, lean on the run a little bit more. But Drake May, in his matchup, same over and under against the Raiders. I don't hate Drake May. He can get a lot done with his legs, but I'm a little bit higher on Kyler, even with the news. Yeah, I have them back to back at 10 and 11. So I'm gonna go with Kyler here. Stick to what you know and what you've seen in the past. It's a tough scenario either way, but I think I'm gonna go with Kyler here. Kenneth Lee, what's going on, Kenneth? Great to have you back. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys are throwing them in the chat. I will make sure to answer them as we go. If you guys want your question answered right away, please make sure you guys use that super chat. Really would appreciate that. Kenneth Lee, so half point PPR. Njoku, Odunze, or Debo? Great question. I'm going to sit here and be the first. I'm going to be real with you. I hate putting in a tight end at my flex position if I have to. If if you have a better tight end, which is assuming you do, because if you're looking to put Njoku in as a flex, I can only assume that you have somebody better above him. I'm not playing Debo. Debo, I'm not comfortable with yet. Let's see what happens. Adunze, I don't hate. His matchup isn't bad. He's just number 2 comparatively to 1 with DJ, or you can, if you want to be the one to assume that he's the 1 there and DJ's the 2, that's fine. But they're 1A, 1B for one another in a decent matchup. Njoku with Joe Flacco has been very, very good for fantasy. Flacco, older, likes to dump off in the intermediate route where Njoku basically lives. He's good. They have a good rapport. I'm not one to really promote using a tight end in the flex. Njoku, I would. So I'm going to lean Njoku here. But they're, it's close between him and Adunze. All righty. So, like I said, if you guys have any more questions, make sure you guys are throwing them in the chat. I'll be answering them as we go. Like I said, some of the news from over the weekend, we already talked about CMC. Kyler Murray just got added because of an illness, but he'll be okay. We already talked about the Junkins news. Jaden Reed. So this is the same concept as Christian McCaffrey. I would really have somebody as insurance at 430 for Jaden Reed. I don't think he's been limited all week. It's really unclear. For those that don't know, he had a Jones fracture, which is it can either heal on its own or surgery. Surgery, of course, would keep him out for a while. They went the non-surgical route. He was held out of a lot. He was held out all of training camp. Was out there, with a boot. He was still doing work and still getting out there and, still conditioning and all that. But I am not comfortable playing him in any shape, way, or form. I would definitely be pivoting from Jaden Reed if you have him in your lineups, or, if you feel like you need to use him. I wouldn't. I would really, at this point, just pivot if I could. I do think Matthew Golden is probably the better option there when it comes to that game, but I'm not really comfortable playing Jaden Reed. If you feel like you need to, make sure you have insurance just in case he's inactive. Darnell Mooney is going to be a game time decision. We're going to be waiting for those actives and inactives very shortly in the next 7 minutes. We should be getting some type of activity about, what's going on active and inactive wise. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We're going to be here until probably about 12, 15, based on your questions. If you guys have questions, I'll stay until you guys don't. Until it's me talking to myself for, a good, 10 minutes. I'm going to probably get out of here and get myself all settled up for, week 1. Really excited to be here. For those that don't know, make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. Well, actually, while I'm sitting here waiting, make sure you guys check out our in-season schedule. I have it on the ticker below, but this is our new in-season schedule. We're going to be here on Mondays at 9 p.m. Pacific, basically 12 o'clock on Tuesday for those on the East Coast. But we're going to be doing waiver ads and overreactions. Tuesday, we're going to have Phil here with the Extra Point. He's going to do his show on that day at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. And then on Wednesdays, we're still going to be having our roster management with Frank. They're going to be doing buy, sell, trade targets. And then Friday, I said we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be doing start, sit, Q&A. We're not going to be doing the breakdowns anymore with the full games. We want to answer your questions. We've noticed with a lot of people, and we've seen it in the last few shows or the last couple of shows that we did. We got way more interaction with you guys asking your questions comparatively to us breaking down every single game. We're still going to go over the news. We're still going to be going over actives and inactives, who's going to be in, who's going to be out, all that fun stuff. But we're not going to do full-on breakdowns of the game. We can't stay here for 4 hours like we used to. We really wanted to cut that back and answer your questions. We really felt like the interaction was a lot better, so we want to just stick with answering your questions on Friday nights. That will be with me and Kendall. And then on Sunday morning, I'm going to be right back here every Sunday morning with you guys to try to help you guys with actives and inactives. So make sure you guys check out our new schedule. Like I said, it's in the ticker below. So, J Money in the house. What's going on, J Money? Great to have you here. We got Marcos going Rodgers or Geno for QB2 start. Interesting. Right now, I have Aaron Rodgers pretty low on my depth chart. I have him at 31. I want to see how that offense is going to roll out. Geno, I currently have at 27, so it's not like I have anybody that crazy high for this game. I'm going to lean probably Geno just because they have better weapons overall. Aaron Rodgers with, at this point, with him only having guys like Metcalf and Calvin Austin and Jonnu Smith, like and Jared Warren, I like the playmakers a little bit more on the Raiders to be able to do more. So I'm gonna lean Geno for this one. Yeah. J Money going. Who am I flexing in full PPR? Debo, RJ Harvey, or Stephon Diggs? What you thinking? That's a great thought process, man. Right now, we don't know what's going to go on with RJ Harvey. He, you want to use the depth chart stuff, which I'm not. I don't believe it. I know he's probably their RB1 at one point. Debo, I think that DK is going to get most of the run in this case. Here's my thing. Most rookie running backs don't get a high complement of touches until like week 8 when they come in, especially high rated ones, unless they're, like Genty or, guys like that. I'm not really like right now, week 1, I'm not really on giving those rookies like a projection of being the lead guy yet. We got to see Hampton do it, which is nice, but he's still learning the system. He's still learning how fast the game truly is. I'm going to wait. The biggest thing, well, it's sad, yeah, you guys in the chat are getting ahead of me on those. I'm not starting Debo. I just don't feel comfortable with him yet. I don't have any other way to put it. Stephon Diggs looked good in camp. He was cleared early. He has a pretty good matchup today against the Raiders, 44.5. They're, favored. They're going to use him. I like Stephon Diggs a little bit more than I like these guys. I think I'm going to lean Stephon Diggs for now. This is probably going to change next week, but Stephon Diggs this week for sure. J Money goes, he heard that CMC only had a cramp on Thursday and took himself out. And then they worked him on the side for a few days to see if he would cramp up. Didn't want to tell anybody what happened. Yeah, well, that's the whole point. It's still a cramp isn't good. This is going to linger for years. Like what he currently has, and is not something they should be. It's. I don't know how many of you guys watch the like basketball or like I remember last year. Not Oppenheimer. I forgot the guy's name. He was in the playoffs. He had cramping, and then all of a sudden, he's pulling his Achilles. Nothing in the calf is good when it comes to those types of scenarios with, strains or anything like that. You do not want your guy having strains coming into the season or coming into a game at all, even a cramp. Like, you don't want those things. It means he's either dehydrated or, there's something going on with him not producing well. I'm nervous for that. I didn't draft CMC anywhere this year just because this is going to linger with him all season. It's definitely something that I am very cautious about if I'm using him. I'm still having a guy, as my backup for him. If I have CMC, I'd better have Brian Robinson Jr. in one way or another, just because. So I'm just nervous. Sadness is life. Oh, we got to have you change that. Flex full PPR, Myers or Ridley. Now, Marcos makes a really good point. Never start your wide receivers when they go against Surtain. Not going to lie here. I agree. I don't know what Cam Ward's going to do. I'm not really too comfortable with him. I wasn't really impressed with his particular metrics and all that fun stuff. I'd rather have Myers. I think if anything, if he's looking for that trade, they're going to want to get him involved, and they want to get him involved early so that they can, get him out there. I like the matchup a lot better because Christian Gonzalez isn't going to be out there either for the Patriots. They're favored. The Patriots are favored, so they're going to, projected to be behind. I like Myers here a little bit more. Mr. Magic, what's going on? Welcome back to the show. J Money going to Shanahan. It was the opportunity to not give his game plan at Shanahan. Yeah, agreed. They're not going to give up what he's doing, but at the end of the day, it's crazy. Look at that. Patrick Lario. Thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Thank you for your super chat. Pick one. Aaron Jones, Pittman, Coleman, Chubb, or Olave. Ooh. Give me some context here, Patrick. Is it full, half, standard? What do we got here? I'm assuming it's full. If it's full, I like Pittman today. I love the matchup in general, just because it's against Miami. Miami has no one special. No one special at the cornerback position. They let go of Jalen Ramsey, Mika Fitzpatrick. I like the matchup a ton here. Coleman, I'm a little bit down on just because of his groin injury that he had during the week he's playing, but I'm still down on it. He can definitely re-aggravate. Aaron Jones is a strong contender here. Nick Chubb, I'm a little unsure about, currently today, going against the Rams. Olave, I like his matchup against the Cardinals. They're going to definitely try to get him more involved. That being said, Aaron Rodgers is definitely the guy that you want to play if you're currently ahead. I think he's the safer play. If you're ahead in your matchup, definitely play Aaron Jones. Pittman is more of a boom play if you're looking to try to take upside with the matchup. Chubb, I'm unsure about. Olave is kind of right below Pittman for me. So I'm going to go Aaron Jones for sure. I'm going to rank it as Aaron Jones and then Pittman. And then Olave, Chubb, Coleman is how I would put it after the fact. Yes, Worm, we know. You sold CMC for Lamb and you got to steal. And then I tried stealing him from you and you wouldn't let me. Ray, what's going on? Mike, how are we feeling, brother? Hey, man, it's week 1. I got my Carson on. I'm excited. Really, and just can't wait to take a seat on the couch and enjoy a whole Sunday of football. It's gonna be fun. My wife's gonna be thrilled. J Money going. I took CMC because he fell to me in the second. See that's different, man. That's different. Getting him in the second is value. I feel a lot better about that. Starting to get some actives and inactives. Darnell Mooney inactive today. Darnell Mooney is inactive. So that is our first active and inactive. Darnell Mooney is inactive today. Christian Gonzalez is out today for the Patriots as well. He won't be in. Looks like Vita Vea is active for the Bucs. That's kind of significant, not going to lie, just because they're a big part of his run game. Or a big part of the run-stopping game. Bucs inactives have Chris Godwin, which we already knew. Currently, Shador is going to be the emergency quarterback for the Browns. Oh, my. Trevor Pennington's going to be out for the Saints. Chris Rodriguez got the inactive for the Washington Commanders. That's kind of significant. He was one of those guys. Looks like Giants are going to be without Andrew Thomas today. They list him as doubtful. Hopefully we can get him back soon. Let me see if there's anything else coming up. Will Campbell for the Patriots left tackle. He's going to be available today. Raheem Mostert, healthy scratch. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see if we have anything else. Nothing crazy here yet. I'll let you know when there's more. Right now. Nope. Okay, cool. So Ray goes, I had a keeper. Kept Neighbors, Bucky, Barkley, and Bowers. Dropped Hill. Did I make the right choice? I think you did. I'm currently out in this particular scenario. I'm very low on Hill. I'm waiting to see what happens, but I do have Hill in a lot of different scenarios. Alan Lazard is out today for the Jets. Nothing new there. Nothing else. All right, cool. But no, I don't. I think you made the right choice dropping Hill out of those. Out of that option. I mean that's crazy good right there. J Money goes, I always take the safe and one upside pick every 3 rounds. Yeah, it's smart. So 2 safe picks and 1 upside every 3. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I would expect Thomas for multiple weeks. Yeah, unfortunately, until he gets back. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with him. I really don't want him to be out that long, but I think they're pretty confident with their line currently and what's going on. Tyler Goodson's out for the Colts. That's not crazy, but it's just good for DJ Giggins if you're a current holder of him. Awesome. Where I'm saying to give me Hill. We'll see, man. You got to give me a good offer, and he's yours. Unfortunately, the people on your team, I do not feel as if I need or could have at this moment, just because you know how things are. So, J Money says, I think all eyes will be on Tyreek Hill today. If he can't get it done against the Colts, I think it's a sign it's a wasted pick. Yeah, man. It's going to be a real rough one for them right now. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but it will be interesting. Look who it is. Phil awake and ready on this week 1, 8:30 out there on the West Coast. I love it. Sutton or Flowers, people want to know. I want to know too, but it's Sutton for me. I'm going to be playing Sutton just because I like the matchup a lot better. I like Sutton a lot better. Flowers I've never been impressed with. I do like the matchup though against the Bills. They're hurting right now in the secondary with Tre'Davious White is currently hurt, or Tre'Davious White is currently hurt. Even though the over-under is a little bit lower for the Titans-Broncos game, the matchup's good. I think Ladarius Sneed's also out as well. So for me, I am a lot more on board with Sutton. I like the matchup. I have him ranked higher. I think I have Sutton. Where do I have him currently? I have Sutton at 21, and I have Flowers at 29. So I'm going to stick with Sutton here. Stick with your studs. Stick with your studs in a lot of situations. So Phil goes, are we worried about Jaden Daniels' ceiling today against the Giants D-line? No, I wouldn't be. The D-line's good. I think he's very elusive enough to get out of it. I wouldn't start lowering expectations for him yet, even, in this matchup. They're still favored by 6, 45.5 over under. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I think that the way to stop it is to run the ball, even though Dex is the best part of that. We're a very good pass rush, but I think we're better against a pocket passer than a very mobile quarterback. Our linebacking core is okay. McFadden and Bobby Okereke, they're okay. They're just not. They're not. I think they're going to have a rough time with Jaden. I think it's going to be a very interesting game to see. Do I hope that the D-line can do it? Yes. I do think that they're a very good pass rush, and they're going to be good. I just think we need to – I don't think today is the day that we are worried too much about them. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm excited. first week of the NFL season. Make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat. Please, I will answer them leading up to game time. Make sure also you guys are checking out Underdog. If you haven't already, make sure you guys are checking out Underdog. Make sure you're using that promo code Get Right. We can help, or they can help with, I think it's a $50. I got to look at the number. I got to get Frank to give me the readout, but make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy in states that allow it. Hopefully that upgrades soon, but make sure you guys are using promo code Get Right when you guys sign up. Really would appreciate that. Helps the show out a ton. Phil goes, I wouldn't play Bill today until I see it, but for those 100 Bill late on in drafts and White excited, can you flex him over Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, or Dylan Sampson? No. I don't think you can yet. I'm waiting to see as well. I have Bill everywhere. I have Bill Krosky Merritt, and I can't tell you how many leagues I picked him up real late in a lot of drafts, have him in a ton of best ball. Really excited to see what this kid can do. But for now, no, I don't think I can do that. I think at this point, if you're going to pick one, it's going to be Austin Eckler. I think that there's going to be a lot more involvement with Bill. I think they're going to ramp him up a little bit and definitely use him in certain packages that will be helpful. And at this point, with Chris Rodriguez out, I mean, that's kind of a big thing. A lot of people dumped their fab on Chris Rodriguez when they saw that particular depth chart that came out where it was Austin Eckler and, Chris Rodriguez and Jeremy McNichols and then, Bill all the way at the bottom. Bill is going to be involved. The coaches like him. They want to get it. They see he's dynamic. I don't know if I'm starting him today. I think I'm starting Ford. In this case, I like the matchup for Ford. I'm not going to put him over Eckler. I think, I'd be okay with starting Eckler today. Good matchup overall, but like I said, we can be beat on the ground. We've never been that great of a run stopping team. We're more of a pass rush and stop deep. So I do like Austin today, but I'm not playing him over. I'm not playing Bill over any of these guys. All right. So keep throwing those questions out there if you guys have any out there. I've already kind of exhausted all my new stuff. I'm trying to get you guys some other things. If you guys want, we can also discuss a few other things like, let me bring it up. Let me try to find it. There it is. We got DFS value picks. So I went through a whole bunch of DFS stuff. I usually use FanDuel for these particular things. I broke down a lot of the guys that I like today as value picks. We got Jaden Daniels starting off the day at $8,500. But I want to give you guys value. I don't want to give you guys that you already know are good. Let's go down the list. And my first guy is right there, Mr. Bo Nix at $4,700. Really like the matchup today. Really like his particular potential in this, and you can get him for a steal at $4,700. I really do like this play. Another guy I like a lot is, I got to scroll a little bit. Michael Penix Jr. going against Tampa Bay today. Tampa Bay's offense is beat up in the backfield or in the secondary. I'm really wanting to see what we can do here. And only at $6,700, I mean, that's a steal in my opinion. And then also who we discussed before, Drake May, he's another guy that I like at his price point. So if you're looking for DFS values at the quarterback position, those are the guys I'm going to be targeting. Marcos, any bad weather affecting any of the games? So the only game that is currently in the bad weather category is the Jacksonville Jaguars game, Jaguars versus the Carolina Panthers. It was I think it's 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts with chances of thunderstorms at one point in the game. There was some weird weather going on in Cleveland, but that's cleared up recently. It was like hailing, and then all of a sudden it was nice and bright. If you've ever been to Cleveland, it's an interesting town of where it is. It's one of those places where the weather from the Great Lakes changes all the time, and it's a very interesting setup. Really do. I've enjoyed going there the last few times. I've been to Cleveland. I've always gone right up to the stadium. It's always interesting time. For those that haven't, strongly suggest you should. So yeah, that's the only bad weather game that I've seen on the slate. Giants Commanders might have a little precipitation. They have the field covered last time I checked it. I haven't checked it since. If anything, it's just going to be a little gross and little drizzle and stuff like that. So for me, the run game is going to be big there in general. Everywhere else is pretty wide open. Everything else, there's no real bad weather games. Rams are in a dome today. Falcons are in a dome. Colts are in a dome. Everyone else is outside, but everyone else has good weather currently. So we should be good to go. So those are my current QB picks. Let's move on to the running back group. And you got Bijan at the top, you got Gibbs as well. So we have a couple of really good big options there. Let's get you guys some value a little bit later in your drafts. Right here, Alvin Kamara, right at the top, 7,100 against the Cardinals. I think they're going to use him very often in a lot of different scenarios. So for me, Alvin Kamara at 7,100 is a steal. Kenneth Walker, a little bit below, $6,700 going against San Francisco. I know Phil's still in the chat. I'm sorry, brother. He's going to be there today. Defense is a little banged up. They don't have a ton. They lost a lot of really key players in the offseason. Fred Warner's still there. Really excited about that because he's going to really help me out today, hopefully. $6,700, really good price. Right below him, Ashton Genty, $4,600 going against the Patriots. We have yet to see what's going to happen with this Patriots defense. We can only think it's going to improve, but I think they're going to use him often, and at that price, I'm willing to see what happens. Right below that is Brian Robinson Jr. at $6,300. He's a flex guy that I like a little bit, just because even if Christian McCaffrey is, let's just say 80%, they're going to use him. They're going to use Brian Robinson a little bit to spell him in situations. He only knows a good portion of the playbook, but he'll be able to be involved a little bit more. So I do like Brian Robinson Jr. here at $6,300. Just below that is Travis Etienne going against Carolina. Travis Etienne has been left for dead. $6,100, really good price point for him. If I'm going to start him, is going to be involved the whole game. I'm going Travis Etienne. Next is, I wanted to do Tyrone Tracy, but no one would believe me on a day like today. J.K. Dobbins being involved against the Titans at $5,700. Just like his price point, him and Harvey, you can either, whoever you feel more comfortable with, but I like Dobbins a little more, at least for this week. Austin Eckler versus the Giants. I already kind of talked about him a little bit. $5,200. I really, like I said, I've usually been good with playing running backs against the Giants. We're just not great at stopping the run, but we're very good at rushing the passer. So that's what I would be predicting. Let's get over to some questions in the comments. We got our boy Rasta. What's going on, Rasta? How you doing, brother? He goes, what up? What up? What up? Week 1 is here. Oh, so are we doing Bill, Crossley, Merritt, or Chubb in the flex? I'm assuming this is full PPR because most leagues that you're in are, except for that one league, and you didn't specify it, which I'm assuming is the case. Let me get to my rankings because I kind of want to get. I got Crossley, Merritt at 31. I have Chubb at 36. So they're pretty. I wouldn't say pretty close, but I have Bill a little bit higher. just because of, like I said, the matchup. I like the particular, what they're going to do against the Giants in general. Nick Chubb, we still don't know what's going to happen. Rams are a little bit better than people think on defense, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They really do have a young group of guys that can really get at it. I think I'm going to go Bill here over Chubb. Oh, good. I'm glad that it's not in the 3 leagues that we have. Out of my 9 leagues, I'm facing Rasa in 3. So it's most of my being upset is going to probably be towards him this week. Marcos, man. Trying to get DK in your lineup, it looks like. I like Tyler Warren here, and like I said, I don't like playing tight ends in the flex unless I absolutely have to. I don't feel comfortable with DK yet. I really, really don't. I have Tyler Warren at 8 in my tight end rankings currently. I like him a lot in this matchup. Like I told you, Miami is depleted. They lost Mika Fitzpatrick. They lost Javon Holland. They lost Jalen Ramsey. They lost a lot of key parts of that secondary and tried to scotch tape a team in the secondary. I'm just not ready to. I'm going to be taking advantage of that all year long. But I'm not ready to put DK in that position. Going against Sauce Gardner, I feel a little bit less wanting to do that. The numbers don't look good either when it comes to the the over-under with it being at 38 comparatively to the other game where it's at 46.5, Indy being favored by 1. I like this matchup a little bit more for him, so I'm going to go Tyler Warren. Like I said, I'm not one to promote tight ends in the flex, but this scenario, I don't mind it at all. All right. So let's get you guys some wide receiver value picks. Let me get up to my wide receiver group. Oop. So we got our wide receivers here. We got Jamar Chase as the number 1 option here, as usual. So let's give you guys some wide receiver picks. So I like to aim in the 7,000s if I'm going for value, and one of those people is Drake London. This is going to be a great game for him. I really do see great things for Drake London in general. $7,000, really good price point for if you're looking for your wide receiver 1. Next on this list is Courtland Sutton at $6,700 going against Tennessee today. Like I said, this is a great matchup for him. I'm really excited to see what Courtland Sutton and Bo Nix can do moving forward. Right below that is Juwan Jennings at $6,000 today versus Seattle. Just got his incentive. He is happy, going to be out there. I mean, the other guy that I'm going to have on this list is a little cheaper. So if you feel a little bit more, if you feel you want to basically take advantage of this particular game, it's only 43.5 point over under the Seahawks versus the 49ers. But if you think the 49ers are going to be down, they're going to be passing a ton, Jennings isn't a bad choice. But my other choice would be Ricky Purcell. He is at $5,300 or $5,300 right now. So I like him a little bit more just for the price point. Another guy I like is Chris Olave, a little bit lower, $5,900 in Arizona, going against Arizona. It's really the matchup, the situation, volume based. They're going to be down. They're going to need to throw it. So I like Chris Olave a lot here. Another guy I really like, and this guy is probably the best value you're going to get now. $5,200 for Josh Downs going against the Dolphins. I already kind of gave you guys the big situation there. They have no cornerbacks. He's going to be used, Daniel Jones, as much as I can't stand him in general. He is a good, accurate quarterback. They made the right decision here. They're going to get Downs involved. I think this is going to be a really good play for Downs. So if you're going to play him, this is the time to do it. Great value here. All right, let's get to Look at who it is. Perry Williams, what's going on, man? He goes, yo, Mike, good to see you again. Looking forward to the future Sundays. Hey, man, same thing. Can't wait. Really excited to have you back. Would you start Pittman over Ridley? Now, we kind of had this conversation before. Ridley going against Sutton is not ideal. Not ideal. I don't like that matchup, but I do like the matchup against Miami. I would probably be playing Pittman over him. I have Pittman at 42 currently, but I do have I have Calvin ranked probably higher at 34, but that's not significantly high for me. I would rather I'd probably rather have at this point. I'd rather play Pittman just because I like the matchup more, even though I have Ridley ranked higher. I just like the matchup. The matchup's much better. So I'm probably going to be playing Pittman for the same, like I said, it's the matchup. Big matchup versus a really bad pass defense. So when you lose a ton of guys like they did, it's just take advantage. That's the biggest advantage you can give. I think that they're going to focus on the run game for Tennessee. I think they're going to focus on the run. I think Tony Pollard is a better player for the Titans. I think he's probably the only guy that I'm comfortable with currently. Calvin Ridley I really like as a player. I think you're going to be using him a lot this year, but today is not the day that I feel comfortable using him. Just a really good matchup, and most guys against Patrick Surtain, it hasn't worked out well. So I'm going to stick with Pittman for now. It's a gross option. It's definitely a low end guy, definitely a low end wide receiver 3. Ridley's probably closer to a bottom tier wide receiver 2, but I don't see any upside today. But I like Pittman just because of the matchup. I'm just going to go Pittman over Ridley. See how that works out. Big body receiver. So let's go back to our value picks. I'm going to go to hold on. Oh, Rafi in the house. What's going on, Rafi? Great to have you here, my friend. He goes full PPR, RJ Harvey or Travion Henderson. Interesting picks. I think I'm going to go Travion. At this point, pass catcher, really involved in the passing game a lot. Especially for full PPR. I feel a little bit better about Travion than I do RJ Harvey. Even JK is going to be a little bit more in this boat, so I'm gonna go Travion for sure. Lee agrees with me. Lee 86. What's going on, Lee? Great to have you here. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. Here to answer those questions. I'm just going to be doing some value picks for you guys for FanDuel if you guys are inclined for those things. Next, we have tight end values. Lots of good tight end values today for FanDuel. So really like these options. My biggest one is Njoku, $5,700. That's a steal. Kyle Pitts just below him at $5,200 going against Tampa Bay. He has actually done very good against Tampa Bay in the past. I would take advantage of this scenario. $5,200. Really do like it. Already talked up. Tyler Warren, $5,100. Great matchup today against Miami. I would take that. Brenton Strange at $5,000 going against Carolina. This should be a really good matchup for him as well. Hunter Henry has gone pretty much unnoticed. He usually does good in the first few weeks of the season, falls off, comes back. This is the week I want him. $5,000. Perfect. If you want to load up on if you want to load up on studs in your wide receiver and running back and quarterback and all that, and you want to just play a low value pick, Hunter Henry is your guy. Last guy I have is Mason Taylor, $4,600 going against Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think that they're going to have to lean on him a little bit. They don't really have anybody else but Garrett Wilson there. Garrett Wilson going against Joey Porter. Joey Porter's not that special, but still a good cornerback in his own right. They might have to dump off a little bit to Mason Taylor because they don't have anybody else. Josh Reynolds is number 2 there, or they're going to be focusing a little bit too much on the run. But Mason Taylor seems to be the guy that they rely on the most. So really excited about that matchup. Lee going, Njoku was a huge steal for all my drafts. Yeah, man. I mean, Njoku is one of my favorite options here. I do like Njoku a ton today, just because of his scenario, and I'm very glad that at this point they were, they went with the smart option with Flacco. Uh, he was the best option. Let's just be clear. He's a great quarterback, even though he's on the older side. He just needs to game manage, and just be able to get the ball out when necessary. And in this case, he's good at finding Njoku. And it really helps improve the passing options for the Cleveland Browns, one being him. So, Lee goes Waddle or Jacoby Myers. Good one. That's a good one. I'm not a big fan of Waddle, but I have Waddle at 27. I have Jacoby Myers probably just a smidge lower. Yeah, Myers at 41. I'm going to go Waddle. I'm going to go Waddle here. I do like Waddle to a point. Problem with Waddle for me is he goes in for 10 seconds and then he's hurt within 5 seconds. I can never be on board with somebody that's only out there for like a select amount of time because he's always injured. Jacoby Myers is in a good matchup because he doesn't have Christian Gonzalez going against him. So I don't hate Jacoby Myers in this matchup, but I prefer Waddle. It's going to be a back and forth game. The over under for that game was like 46.5 comparatively to the 44, which I know it's a small number, but I do like Waddle in that matchup. They are also underdogs in that particular scenario. Untamed, what's going on, man? Great to have you here. Tyler Warren or Tucker Kraft, full PPR. I'm going to go Tyler Warren. I really do like his matchup. I think the Bears secondary is actually better than what people think he is or think they are. He's going to be going against Gordon in a lot of those scenarios. I do like Warren a little bit more just because Miami has no secondary. Like I said, they are not anything special back there. I prefer to go with Tyler Warren in this matchup. Good options on the Colts, but I think Tyler Warren's the guy that they're going to want to focus on a little bit more. Kraft, I don't mind. He's number 2, probably in the pecking order for his matchup this week. Against the Lions, 47.5. It's not a horrible point total. I'm high on him. I wanted to draft him everywhere, but I prefer Warren for the matchup. And I'm pretty sure I ranked Warren higher. Yeah, I have Warren at 8. I have Tucker at 6. I have Warren at 8. So they're right next to each other overall. But I'm still going to go Warren. I like him a little more. Probably going to switch that right now. See, I do these things I do my rankings on the fly up until pretty much right up till kickoff. If you guys need to follow our particular rankings, it's always good. We have them on the website at getrightff.com. We have our rankings posted there for anyone that needs them. Always updated whenever we update our rankings. Also, make sure you guys are checking out our Discord if you're not already in it. If you guys are new to the show or new to being here, our Discord link is in the description. It will bring you right to our Discord. We answer all your questions throughout the week in that Discord. So make sure you guys are in there. We used to have our sleeper chat. We moved over to Discord. It's just a lot better overall for us to be able to interact with our community and wanting to, we wanted to be in a place that really worked out. And it's great. So make sure you guys jump in there if you aren't already. We're going to start throwing some other content in there as well later on in the year to get you guys going. We're going to be, like I said, if you're just tuning in now and you wanted to know, our schedule changed just a smidge for in season, but not crazy. We're going to be here Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So Thursdays and Saturdays we take off to get you guys all set up for the rest of the week. So we will be back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific, so 12 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday, essentially, or Monday night, if you will. Doing some waiver wire ads, doing Phil's show on Tuesday for you guys. Wednesday, we're going to have roster management. And Friday, like I said, we're changing up. We're going to be just doing Q&A for you guys, kind of like what we're doing right now, but a little bit, I know you guys like knowing those questions on Friday. We usually get a big group of guys that come in on that day. So we want to make sure that we can get all your questions answered instead of just giving you guys a breakdown. We want to answer your questions. So that's going to be our Star State show. We're going to have me and Kendall helping you guys answer questions. You're going to be able to hear us, go back and forth on players and get your opinion on which one that you think is the better option. And it's just a really good way to have a great conversation to know, other than just me just spitting out, on my own. Still going to be here Sunday mornings to help you with these last minute stuff. So really love being here. Ooh, saw this one before. Last flex and Buka. I'm assuming that's JMO, Jameson Williams, or Ridley, full PPR. This is a great question, man. I probably have. Let me see how my rankings go before I give you an answer there, because they're all pretty tight. I have Mbuka and Jameson Williams right next to each other at 30, 31. I have Ridley at 34. So all these guys are pretty much right next to each other. I'm probably going to lean with the known over the unknown. JMO is probably the best option here. I'm not comfortable with it. I know a lot of people won't be, but here's the thing. I've noticed this too with fantasy. When a lot of people are out because of a matchup, that guy usually ends up going off, because they always find a way to get him open. They always find a way to move him over. They always find a way to do something with him. I also just don't like Cam Ward yet, so I'm not too comfortable with it. I prefer Baker and Jared Goff over a guy like Cam Ward. So for me, that automatically takes Ridley, puts him a step down comparatively to these two. I do like Mbuka in his situation currently. You're only going to be able to use him for a few weeks until Godwin comes in, but he's supposed to be an elite wide receiver for this. So I still like JMO a little bit, probably celebrating his new contract and all. I'm going to go Jameson Williams out of these three, and he has the biggest upside for all of them. So, but I agree. Ridley is kind of out of the conversation, unfortunately. Do like him rest of the season. I think he's in a good spot in other matchups. Not against Patrick. And Patrick's good at press coverage. I think he's going to have a rough time coming out of the gate. I think they're going to have to focus on the run a little bit more, which is, probably if you're going to find a, chink in the armor, that's the one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, throw those questions in the chat. I'm only going to be here for a little bit longer until you guys are done with your questions. Make sure you guys get those in. Like I said, we're going to be here Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. We're going to be off on Thursday and on Saturday for you guys. But make sure you guys check out our in-season stuff. Make sure you guys are checking out, as I said, Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you guys are using promo code GetRight when you do. They will. I forgot the whole scenario. I got to look at the sheet, but they will. I think they give you 50. I think it's 50 on the deposit. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you guys are involved with that. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you guys check out TrophySmack.com. I mean, we know we got our league started. Everybody brought their trophy to their draft. You want to start getting involved with that. You can start start getting in and getting it now for the end of the season. You can get a trophy like this, custom made for your particular league. They got belts. This is one of their best sellers. They have the custom ring. Ruskin made one last year for us. Really like the ring. Just make sure you guys check them out. Use promo code GetRight, and they will help you at checkout in one way or another. We really would appreciate that. Now, or you can just do what I did and make your own, but my trophy's upstairs on my mantle. Really excited about that one. My wife wasn't, but I was. I got to have a nice, have my trophy on my mantle above my fireplace. So really love having that. In another league, so Ray W goes final flex, Wandell or Cedric Tillman. So Ray, if you've been following us all off season, I am a big fan, very big fan of Wandell Robinson. I really do like him a lot in most matchups. I like him a ton. I don't have him ranked very high. I have him at 46, but full PPR, I feel comfortable with him in this matchup, especially, we could be behind. but Russ loves the short intermediate route. His ADOT's only like 8 in the last few years. It's consistent 8, but he likes the slot. He likes the lower intermediate routes, the check downs, things like that. He can still launch the ball. Let's just be clear. He can still throw it. Neighbors will get his. Tracy will be involved, but I think Wandell's number 2 in the pecking order. I really do. I think it's Neighbors, Wandell, Tracy. I still think Tracy's involved in a lot of the scenarios that they're going to do. Their D line, the Washington D line isn't great at this point. They lost a lot of key players. Their secondary is okay, but I do like Wandell today. Cedric Tillman, I like as a player. I'm just not sold on him right at the moment. So I do like him a little bit more with Flacco behind center than I do like Shador or anything like that. So I'm still going to go Wandell. I just feel more comfortable, swimming in the waters of Wandell than I would Tillman. And that's not a homer pick. It's stats. I know you're a Giants fan, but still. I like the Wandell. I'm going to root for Wandell in that matchup. Especially if it's a flex option, that late. If you don't have anybody else, really, Wandell's, I think, a good option. I predicted him as a bold prediction as top 24, I think it was. So I think he can definitely find himself into that. 140 targets last year. I think he can do it. Better quarterback. All right, ladies and gentlemen, throw those questions in the chat if you have any. If you don't, that's okay too. We're going to start wrapping this up. If I have no questions, I want to be able to get up and get ready for week 1. Really excited, really happy that it's finally here. Oh, I know that we've already had the 2 games with, the Chiefs and Chargers and Dallas and Eagles. Both were great matchups. Really enjoyed watching Patrick Mahomes do very well and lose. That always makes me feel good. Really like the scenario in general. So Ray goes, I'm only in 2 leagues this year, unlike 5 the previous 2 years. Yeah, well, I'm in 9, and I think I'm close to 10 now. And I used to only be in 2, so I miss being in 2. I miss being able to set my lineup in like 30 seconds instead of going through, like, taking close to like an hour just to go through my whole list of waiver ads every Tuesday and going through all the what I got to do. I think I'm only in like 3 dynasty leagues and the rest are redraft or charity or something like that. So it's really interesting, really fun. So you did the Chop League. One of the and one of the is Chops. So yeah. What's going on, Warrior? How you doing, man? Great to have you back. Always enjoy the first week of the season. Get to say hi to everybody that we've haven't gotten to see. Warrior Loft being one of them. Ray W. We got Patrick Lario as well. Rafi, as always. Perry Williams, Marcos, all you guys, and my buddy Worm, Jay Money, and love having you guys here. So thanks for coming. Warrior Loft goes, start Alvin Kamara versus the Cardinals, or wait to start a not 100% Christian McCaffrey versus the Seahawks. That's a real tough one, bro. I have Christian McCaffrey at 7. I have Alvin at 14. I don't hate the Alvin Kamara matchup. I like him more in DFS than I do in redraft. I don't think you're trying to be too cute here. I think you're still starting CMC. From what we keep gathering, he's just trying to keep himself ready to go for game time. He's definitely playing. They already said he is, so I'm not really too behind on it. I think they're going to lower his workload a little bit. Might be a 40-40-20 split type thing, or they're going to, try to limit his snaps just a smidge, but they're going to still use him when needed. Alvin Kamara is the only guy. That's my only argument with Alvin Kamara, is that he is a volume-based play. I don't hate playing Kamara over CMC, but I don't have the balls to do it. I don't. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know how you can't not play Kamara, though. I'm trying to figure out how you're able to play. How are you able to play Alvin Kamara or CMC and Alvin Kamara, but not one. I'm very confused here. Explain. I want to know more. I'm curious. Marcos goes, Travion Henderson or DK Metcalf? Man, these are two fun questions. Full PPR, I'm always going to lean the wide receiver just because they're going to be heavily involved in one way or another. The points up for both games are, not great. Travion's going to be involved in the passing game, but we don't know how much. We don't know if it's going to be 40 or higher. This is a tough one. You guys give me some tough questions on day one. 21. I have him ranked at 21 overall for the running backs. I have DK, I think, at like 36. Yeah, 36. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Henderson. I'm going to lean Henderson here. I think it's hard not to play him. They're going to use him. DK going against Sauce, I think it's going to be like that, the Calvin Ridley versus Surtain. Could he get a ton of volume and, be targeted like 10 times during the game and catch it 7 for 70? I could see it. But Travion, touchdown upside, higher touchdown upside. Yeah, I'm going to lean Travion. It's close though. This is where I'm at the unsure. That's close. Where give me more information here. Curious about this. I'm curious how you can play one and not the other. Because unless it's like one running back start, I don't see a world where you can't play both. And the only way that I'm thinking that you can is if you went Bijan. No, you couldn't have gotten Bijan early. It would be like Gibbs and then McCaffrey on the turn. That's the only thing that I can think of. Marcos, good luck to you, my friend. He goes, thank you for your advice today. Appreciate it. Of course, man. That's what we're here for, brother. Thank you. Yeah. It's killing me, man. I can't predict. I can't figure out how this happened where you can't play him. And then I would still put Alvin in the flex if your league has flex. Interesting. Well, let me know what that scenario is there, Warrior, if you have a second, if you're still there listening. I'm really, really curious about that. Alvin plays at 1, so you're going to have to make that decision now if you're going to play him. I mean, if you're unsure about Christian playing, I wouldn't be. He is playing. But I'm still trying to figure out how you would sit Alvin Kamara. There's no world that you drafted a team that you couldn't play Kamara in my head. Unless this is Scott Fishbowl wouldn't even work either. This is really, really stumping me here. I've never had a question that close with rankings said that high. Wow. Warrior, tell me what's going on, man. I'm curious. I'll even stay on for an extra couple minutes to figure it out because I want to know what's going on here. How can you have both and not play one? Weird. Very weird. Already went through all the stuff that we are going to be doing this season. I'm really excited for this year's in-season stuff. I really can't wait to give you guys some great content moving forward. Hopefully, you guys check out our Discord. Like I said, we are in there all the time. Me, Kendall, Phil, we're all in there. Make sure you guys are checking that out if you haven't already. I'm going to be I post injury news, regular news, all throughout the year. I try to get it to you guys before even Sleeper gets it out to you, which they've only beaten me like 2-3 times this week, and there's been a ton of news. So try to get in there ASAP if you haven't already. It's one of the best places for, one of the best communities that we have. I do my best to stay on top of that injury news and keep you guys abreast of those scenarios that are out there. And really, make sure, I follow a lot of the guys that are out there that have, really good reps and stuff. So hopefully we can get you that info. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see any other questions coming in the chat. I'm not going to hold everybody up here, but I appreciate everybody joining the show. Thank you so much for everybody. Thank you, Patrick Lario, for your super chat for today. Everybody else, thank you again for tuning in. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Make sure you guys check us out tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be back here doing your waiver wire ads. We all know who's going to be, or we all know some of the people that's going to be at the top of that list. Hollywood will be up there. We know that Quinson Johnston's going to be up there. It's going to be a lot of people that we can, start focusing on for next week, and hopefully we can get those guys. But other than that, make sure you guys have a wonderful week one. Really excited for today. Good luck to everybody, unless you're facing me. That's you, Rasta. I'm talking to you. I'm only kidding. Good luck, everybody. Hope everybody has a great week one. We'll see you all next week. Enjoy. Later, all.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking nothing but I tune every Friday. Strategies provided.